Many people spend years chasing jobs, sending applications every single day, waiting for replies that never come, and slowly losing confidence in themselves. They begin to believe that their entire future depends on whether someone else chooses them or rejects them. This mindset quietly traps people in frustration because they place all their hope in one narrow path. A job is not wrong, and honest employment is honorable in Islam, but the problem begins when a person believes employment is the only doorway to success, stability, or provision. That belief can make someone feel powerless. They wait endlessly for opportunities instead of building skills, creating value, or exploring the countless doors Allah has placed in this world. The modern world has changed rapidly, yet many people still think exactly the same way previous generations thought decades ago. They study only to get hired, not to become useful, creative, or independent. As a result, when jobs become scarce, fear begins to take over their hearts. One of the biggest reasons people remain stuck is because they are trained to seek security instead of growth. From a young age, many are told that success only means getting a stable job with a salary at the end of the month. Very few are encouraged to think beyond that system. Very few are taught how to create opportunities for themselves. This mindset can quietly limit a person's potential. A talented person may spend years waiting outside closed doors while never realizing they already possess abilities that could help others and generate halal income. Sometimes a person knows how to write, design, teach, repair things, cook, edit videos, speak confidently, or solve problems, but they never take those skills seriously because society taught them that only a formal job matters. Over time, this thinking creates dependency, fear of risk, and fear of failure. Another reason job chasing alone becomes dangerous is because it often affects mental health and self-worth. Rejection after rejection can slowly damage a person's confidence. Some begin to think they are failures simply because companies did not select them. But rejection from people does not mean rejection from Allah. Sometimes Allah closes one path because another path holds more growth, more risk, and more barakah. But a person may cry over not getting hired somewhere while Allah is protecting them from an unhealthy environment, unfair treatment, or a future that would have distanced them from peace. Human beings see only the surface, but Allah sees what is hidden. This is why believers must never connect their value to the opinions of employers or society. Many successful people started by creating something small instead of waiting forever. Some began from their bedrooms with only a phone and internet connection. Others used basic skills to help people online or within their communities. What changed their lives was not luck, it was action. They stopped seeing themselves only as job seekers and started becoming problem solvers. The world rewards people who provide value. Businesses grow because they solve problems. Freelancers earn because they help clients. Teachers grow because they share knowledge. Creators succeed because they benefit audiences. Even small efforts can slowly grow into something life-changing when done consistently. But none of this happens if a person spends all their time waiting. There is also a deep lesson in understanding effort and dependence. Depending completely on jobs can create emotional weakness because a person's peace becomes attached to acceptance from others. One rejection ruins their mood. One interview determines their confidence. But when someone learns skills and begins building independently, even slowly, they gain strength inside themselves. They begin to understand that Allah can provide through many doors. One client, one idea, one project, one connection, or one opportunity can completely change someone's life. Risk is not limited to offices or companies. Allah's earth is vast, and His provision reaches people in ways they never expected. Some people think starting independently requires huge money, advanced education, or powerful connections. That is not always true. Many opportunities today require consistency more than perfection. A person can learn editing, writing, graphic design, digital marketing, teaching, coding, sales, translation, content creation, or online business skills through free resources. The internet has removed many barriers that existed in the past. Yet despite these opportunities, countless people remain stuck because they keep waiting for the perfect moment. They think they need full confidence before starting. But confidence often comes after action, not before it. The people who grow are usually those who begin while still uncertain. Another issue is that many people underestimate the value of small beginnings. They want immediate success, high income, and recognition. If results do not come quickly, they quit. But almost every meaningful journey begins small. Tasakan, even the strongest tree begins as a seed beneath the soil, hidden from people's eyes. Small efforts repeated daily become powerful over time. A person who learns one skill consistently for a year can completely transform their future. Someone who improves little by little eventually becomes valuable in the marketplace. But modern culture has made people impatient. They want fast success without long-term discipline. Real growth does not work that way. Islam teaches dignity in hard work and effort. The prophets themselves worked. Honest earning has always carried honor in Islam. But Islam also teaches believers not to become hopeless or dependent on creation. The believer trusts Allah while striving with wisdom and determination. If one door closes, another can open. If one path becomes difficult, another path may contain unexpected blessings. What matters is sincerity, halal effort, patience, and trust in Allah's plan. Sometimes the delay in getting a job pushes a person toward discovering talents they never knew they had. Difficult seasons often force people to grow in ways comfort never could. Many individuals remain trapped because they spend more time consuming than creating. Hours disappear scrolling endlessly through social media, watching other people succeed, complain, entertain, or show luxury lifestyles. Meanwhile, their own goals remain untouched. Imagine if those same hours were used to learn, practice, build, or improve. The internet that distracts millions can also become a powerful tool for earning and growth. It depends on how it is used. One person wastes years online, while another builds a career from the same device. The difference is mindset and discipline. Fear also plays a major role. People fear failure, judgment, criticism, and uncertainty. They worry about what relatives or society will say if something does not work. But every successful person has failed many times privately before achieving visible results publicly. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is often part of the journey toward it. The people who eventually succeed are usually the ones who continue despite embarrassment, mistakes, and slow progress. They understood that remaining stuck was more dangerous than trying. Risk comes from Allah, not from employers, companies, businesses, or people. This truth changes the entire way a believer views life. Many people unknowingly attach their hearts to human beings when it comes to provision. They believe a manager controls their future, a company controls their survival, or a boss controls their success. But Islam teaches something much deeper and more liberating. Human beings are only means. Allah alone is Arzak, the ultimate provider. Every salary, every opportunity, every customer, every gift, every business success, and every source of sustenance ultimately comes from Him. A believer should work with excellence, seek knowledge, improve skills, and strive for success. But their heart should never become attached to worldly systems alone. Jobs may come and go. Markets may change. People may disappoint. But Allah never abandons those who rely upon Him sincerely. Sometimes provision comes through employment. Sometimes through business. Sometimes through freelancing, teaching, creativity, or opportunities no one could predict. Allah's mercy is vast, and His provision reaches whom He wills in ways beyond imagination. There is a major difference between employment and opportunity, yet many people confuse the two for their entire lives. Employment is when someone gives you a role, a task, and a salary in exchange for your time and effort. Opportunity, however, is much bigger than that. Opportunity is any door through which you can grow, benefit others, solve problems, earn halal income, and build a meaningful future. Employment is only one form of opportunity, but countless people limit themselves by believing it is the only one. As a result, they spend years chasing jobs while ignoring talents, ideas, and possibilities that could completely transform their lives. A job can provide stability, experience, and valuable lessons. There is nothing wrong with honest employment. Islam honors halal work in every form. But problems begin when people build their entire identity around being hired by someone else. Their dreams become dependent on approval from employers. Their confidence rises and falls based on interview calls. Their future feels controlled by systems outside their hands. This mindset slowly creates emotional weakness because the person forgets how vast Allah's earth truly is. They stop noticing opportunities around them because their eyes are fixed only on traditional employment. Opportunity exists wherever there is a problem waiting to be solved. Every successful business, service, or project began because someone noticed a need and decided to help people. Some people saw businesses needing social media management. Others noticed students struggling with studies and began teaching online. Some learned video editing, graphic design, writing, coding, photography, translation, or marketing skills and started offering service. Others sold products, started small home businesses, or created content that educated and inspired audiences. None of these people waited for permission to begin growing. They understood that opportunity often appears in hidden forms, not always inside office buildings or formal job applications. One reason many people fail to recognize opportunities is because they have been trained only to follow instructions, not to think creatively. Traditional systems often teach people how to become workers, but not necessarily creators or problem solvers. People are taught to memorize information, pass exams, and apply for jobs. Very few are taught how to identify market needs, build valuable skills, or create independent income streams. Because of this, many intelligent people remain financially stuck despite having talent and potential. Their minds are full of fear instead of vision. Opportunity also requires awareness. Some people sit beside opportunities every day without realizing it. A person may have strong communication skills but never consider teaching or consulting. Someone may have creativity but never think about design, content creation, or branding. Another may know cooking, tailoring, repairing electronics, or speaking multiple languages yet never see those abilities as valuable. Society sometimes makes people believe only degrees or formal careers matter, but the world rewards usefulness. If you can solve problems honestly and help people, opportunities can grow from even simple skills. Another important difference between employment and opportunity is control. In most jobs, a person exchanges time for money under someone else's structure. Instead of living in constant dependence, they begin building confidence, purpose, and growth. They stop chasing only employment and start recognizing the countless opportunities Allah has scattered throughout the world. Many people spend years waiting for permission before they begin improving their lives. They wait for someone to hire them, encourage them, approve them, support them, or guarantee success before taking action. This waiting mentality quietly destroys potential because life rewards movement, effort, and initiative. One of the most powerful mindset shifts a person can develop is learning to stop waiting for permission to earn, grow, and build something meaningful. As long as a person believes their future can only begin after someone else allows it, they remain emotionally trapped. From childhood, many people are conditioned to depend on systems of approval. Students wait for teachers to validate them. Graduates wait for companies to select them. Adults wait for society to approve their choices. Over time, this creates fear of independent action. People become afraid to start anything unless someone else first confirms it will work. But real growth often begins in uncertainty. The people who transform their lives are usually those who decide to act even when no one is clapping for them yet. There is a dangerous habit many people fall into. They delay action because they think they are not ready. They believe they need more confidence, more money, more experience, or perfect conditions before starting. But perfect conditions rarely exist. If people waited until they felt fully prepared, many great ideas would never come to life. Readiness often develops during the journey itself. A person learns by doing, improving, failing, adapting, and continuing. Action creates clarity that overthinking never can. Waiting for permission also keeps people dependent on the opinions of others. Some individuals have talents that could genuinely benefit people, but fear stops them from sharing those abilities. They worry relatives might criticize them. They fear looking inexperienced. They fear being judged if they fail publicly. As a result, they remain silent while their potential slowly fades. But no successful journey is free from criticism. People will always have opinions whether someone succeeds or fails. The important thing is whether the person remains sincere, ethical, and committed to growth. The modern world has made independent earning more accessible than ever before. A person can offer services online, teach skills, sell products, create educational content, freelance, or build digital businesses with minimal resources. Yet millions still hesitate because they are mentally waiting for someone to allow them to begin. This permission mindset creates paralysis. It makes people believe they need a perfect title or official position before their efforts matter. But value does not depend on titles. If you help people honestly and solve problems, your work has meaning. Some people mistakenly believe starting small is shameful. They think if something does not look impressive immediately, it is not worth doing. This pride becomes a hidden obstacle. In reality, almost every successful person began in humble ways. Some started from tiny rooms, borrowed equipment, or simple online platforms. Their first attempts were imperfect. Their early work may have received little attention, but they continued learning and improving. Small beginnings are not signs of failure. They are often the foundation of future success. Another reason people wait for permission is because they fear responsibility. Independent action means accepting uncertainty and accountability. It is easier emotionally to blame circumstances, employers, or society than to take ownership of growth. But maturity begins when a person stops making excuses and starts using whatever resources they already have. But every successful creator, freelancer, or entrepreneur once began with zero audience, zero clients, and little experience. Growth usually starts invisibly. In the beginning, effort may feel unnoticed, but consistency eventually builds momentum. Seeds planted patiently can later grow into something powerful. There is also a deep lesson in understanding barakah. Small halal income earned sincerely can carry immense blessing. Some people chase huge money through dishonest means yet live with stress, emptiness, or constant problems. Others earn modestly through honest effort and experience peace, dignity, and gradual growth. Islam teaches believers to seek halal rizq with sincerity and trust in Allah. Online work becomes beautiful when it is built upon honesty, beneficial service, and ethical intention. Families and communities should also stop mocking small beginnings. Sometimes people discourage others from trying online work because it does not appear as stable or traditional. While caution and wisdom are important, excessive negativity can destroy confidence and ambition. Every major success once looked small and uncertain. Encouragement matters because growth requires patience during early stages when results are still invisible. The digital world will continue expanding in the future. Skills connected to communication, creativity, technology, education, and problem solving will remain valuable. Those who adapt, learn, and use online opportunities wisely can create powerful changes in their lives. But none of this happens through wishful thinking alone. It requires discipline, effort, patience, and trust in Allah. Many people are waiting for one huge opportunity to suddenly change everything, while ignoring the small online opportunities already available to them today. But life often changes gradually, not instantly. One small project can lead to another. One skill can attract new opportunities. One consistent effort can eventually create financial stability and confidence. What begins as something small online can slowly become a completely different future for a person who refuses to quit.